Brenda is 24 years old. She works as a teacher and likes her job very much. She enjoys teaching young children. Usually, her life feels happy and calm. She lives in a small apartment and has good friends. Brenda likes simple things, like reading books or walking in the park near her home. She thinks her life is good. One afternoon, the sun was shining brightly. Brenda decided to go to a small coffee shop after work. The coffee shop was not far from her school. It was quiet inside, a nice place to relax. She ordered a coffee and sat down near the window. She watched people walking outside on the street. A young man came into the coffee shop. He looked around and then smiled at Brenda. He walked over to her table. "Is this seat taken?" he asked. Brenda looked up and smiled back. "No, it's free," she said. He sat down. His name was Clark. He was easy to talk to. He had kind eyes and a warm smile. Clark asked Brenda questions about her day and her job. He seemed very interested in her answers. He told her funny stories, and Brenda laughed a lot. She felt comfortable talking with him. It was nice to meet someone new who was friendly and seemed genuinely interested. They talked for maybe 1 hour. Time passed very quickly. Clark told her he worked in an office downtown. He said he often came to this coffee shop because it was peaceful. Brenda felt a connection, something pleasant about their conversation. It felt natural and easy. Before he left, Clark looked at Brenda kindly. "I really enjoyed talking with you, Brenda," he said. "Can I have your phone number? Maybe we can get coffee again sometime." Brenda felt a little surprised, but also happy. Her heart beat a little faster. She thought Clark was charming and nice. She gave him her number. Clark smiled again. "Great. I'll call you soon," he promised. Then he said goodbye and left the coffee shop. Brenda watched him go. She finished her coffee slowly, thinking about their conversation. Meeting Clark made her feel happy. She felt a little excited about the future. Maybe this was the start of something good. She left the coffee shop feeling hopeful. 2. Our happy time. Clark called Brenda soon after they met. They quickly started to go out together. They talked for many hours on the phone, learning more about each other every day. When they were together, they always found many interesting things to discuss. Brenda loved listening to Clark and sharing her own thoughts and dreams with him. They went on many enjoyable dates. Sometimes they had dinner at nice, quiet restaurants where they could talk easily. Other times, they enjoyed long walks in the park, especially in the warm evenings. They also went to the cinema to watch new movies. Clark was always very kind and thoughtful towards Brenda. He often bought her beautiful flowers, like red roses or her favorite yellow tulips. He told her many times, "Brenda, you look so beautiful tonight." These sweet words and kind actions made Brenda feel very special and happy. She truly felt like a princess. One day, Clark spoke about his past girlfriend. Her name was Sylvia. He told Brenda, "My relationship with Sylvia is completely finished. It is all in the past now." He looked at Brenda with a serious face and said, "You are very different from her, Brenda. You are much better for me." Brenda listened carefully to his words. She believed him because he seemed so sincere. She felt very happy and thought Clark was an honest person. After about 3 or 4 months of dating, their time together was always wonderful. One evening, Clark asked Brenda an important question. He held her hands gently and said, "Brenda, will you please be my girlfriend?" Brenda smiled a big, happy smile. "Yes, Clark, of course I will," she answered. She was very happy and excited about this new step. Now they were officially boyfriend and girlfriend. They spent almost every day together, sharing many parts of their lives. It was a very happy time for Brenda. Sometimes they cooked dinner at Brenda's apartment. Sometimes they cooked at Clark's place. They both enjoyed preparing meals together and then eating and talking for hours. Brenda introduced Clark to her best friends. Her friends liked him a lot. They told Brenda, "He is a great man. He seems perfect for you." Clark also introduced Brenda to some of his friends. They shared many laughs and happy moments. One special evening, after a lovely dinner, Clark looked into Brenda's eyes. He said softly, "Brenda, I love you." Brenda felt her heart beat very fast with happiness. She was full of joy to hear those 3 important words. She looked at Clark, her eyes shining, and said with a happy voice, "I love you too, Clark." Brenda felt very safe and secure in her relationship with Clark. She believed their love was strong and real. She often imagined a happy future with him. However, sometimes Clark became very quiet. He seemed distant, like he was thinking about something far away. When he was like this, Brenda would ask him gently, "What are you thinking about, Clark? Is everything okay?" He usually smiled a little and answered, "Oh, it's nothing important, baby. I'm just tired and thinking about work stuff." Brenda tried to believe him. She wanted their happy time to continue. 3 small problems start. Life with Clark was happy for a long time. Brenda felt lucky. But after some months, things began to feel a little strange. It was not one big problem. It was many small things. These small things started to worry Brenda just a little bit. One new thing was Clark's phone. Sometimes his phone rang late at night. This did not happen before. When it rang, Clark often looked at the screen quickly. Then he usually stood up and went into another room to answer it. He always closed the door. Brenda could hear him talking, but his voice was very low and quiet. She could not understand the words. One evening, as he was talking quietly, Brenda walked past the door. For a moment, she thought she heard a name. It sounded like Sylvia. Was it Sylvia, his ex-girlfriend? Brenda was not sure. It was just a soft sound, and it was gone quickly. Clark told her that Sylvia was in the past. Brenda felt a little bit of confusion. She decided to ask Clark about the calls. "Who calls you so late at night, Clark?" she asked one evening, trying to sound calm. Clark turned to her. He smiled his usual charming smile. "Oh, don't worry, baby," he said. "It's just my friend Mike. You know Mike. He has some problems at home. He needs someone to talk to." Brenda knew Mike was Clark's friend. She wanted to trust Clark. He was always kind to her. So she nodded and tried to forget about it. But the quiet phone calls continued some nights, and each time Clark went to another room. Another change was Clark's work. He started working late more often. Many days he sent Brenda a text message in the afternoon. The message usually said, "So sorry, I have to stay late at work today. We have a big project and it's very busy." This happened 2 or 3 times every week. When he finally came home, he always seemed very tired. He would eat dinner quietly and then often say he needed to sleep. He did not talk much about his day anymore. He seemed distracted, like his thoughts were far away. Brenda missed their evening talks. They used to share everything. Now he seemed more distant. Sometimes, when Clark came home after a long day at work, Brenda thought she smelled a faint perfume. It was a sweet smell, but it was not her perfume. She did not wear that kind. She wondered where the smell came from. "Maybe it's from someone in his office," she told herself. "Or maybe I am just imagining it." She did not want to ask him about it. She did not want to seem like she did not trust him. But these small things, the quiet calls, the late nights, the tired feeling, the faint perfume, and his distraction, they started to add up. Brenda tried to push her worries away. She loved Clark and wanted to believe everything was fine. But a small seed of doubt began to grow in her heart. I feel worried. Things with Clark started to feel different and not in a good way. He became more private than before. One day, I noticed he put a password on his phone. I asked him about it. He said, "Oh, it's just for work security, baby. New rules." It sounded okay, but it felt strange because he never needed a password before. Also, sometimes when I walked into the living room, he quickly closed his laptop computer. He looked surprised to see me. He said he was just checking emails, but why close it so fast? It made me feel like he was hiding something. My stomach felt tight when these things happened. One afternoon, we were going somewhere in his car. I saw a small gift bag on the back seat. It had pretty paper. "What's this?" I asked, picking it up. For just 1 second, Clark looked angry. His face was hard. Then he smiled quickly. "It's a surprise," he said. "It's for my sister. Her birthday is soon." But I remembered his sister's birthday was last month. Why did he lie? I put the bag down and looked out the window. A worried feeling started inside me. It was like a small, cold stone in my stomach. Then, something else started happening. When we had small arguments, maybe about dinner plans or watching TV, Clark sometimes said things about Sylvia. He might say, "Sylvia never complained about things like this." Or another time, "Sylvia always understood when I needed some quiet time." Hearing her name hurt me very much. It felt like he was comparing me to her, and I was not good enough. One evening, after he mentioned her again, I felt tears in my eyes. "Clark, why do you keep talking about Sylvia?" I asked. "You told me it was finished. You said I was better for you." He looked sorry then. He came and hugged me. "Oh, Brenda, I'm so stupid," he said. "I don't know why I say things like that. You are the only one I want. I don't think about her, really." He held me tight. I wanted to believe him. I really wanted everything to be okay, like it was before. But the worried feeling didn't go away. It stayed with me, getting a little bigger every day. 5. Finding the secret. Brenda felt more and more worried. It was hard for her to sleep at night. She often thought, "Is Clark hiding something? Or am I just imagining things?" Her mind was full of questions. She talked to her good friend about her feelings. Her friend listened carefully. "Brenda," her friend said, "sometimes you need to trust your feelings. If something feels wrong, maybe it is." Brenda thought about her friend's words. She knew her friend was right. She needed to pay attention to that small, worried voice inside her. One evening, Clark said he was going out with his friends. He left the apartment. Brenda stayed home. She felt quiet and a little sad. After some time, she saw Clark's tablet computer on the small table in the living room. He forgot to take it with him. Suddenly, the screen of the tablet lit up. A new message appeared. It was from someone called S. Brenda looked at the message. It said, "Tonight was amazing, just like always. I miss your arms already. Love you." Brenda's hands started to shake. Her heart began to beat very fast. "S," she thought. Could S be Sylvia? She felt sick. She remembered the times Clark was strange with his phone. She remembered the quiet calls. She picked up the tablet. She knew Clark's password. He told her a long time ago so she could watch movies on it. Her fingers trembled as she typed the password. The tablet opened. Brenda went to the messages. There were so many messages, hundreds of them. They were all between Clark and Sylvia. She saw messages from last week. She saw messages from last month. There were even messages from many months ago. It looked like they started messaging not long after Brenda and Clark started their relationship. Brenda read about their secret meetings. They had dinners together. They spent nights together. Clark told Brenda he was visiting his family, but he was with Sylvia. He said he had work trips, but the messages showed he was on trips with Sylvia. They wrote, "I love you" to each other many times. They shared private jokes. It was like they had a different life together, a secret life. Brenda felt a cold pain when she read them talking about her. Sylvia asked Clark, "When will you leave Brenda?" Clark replied, "Soon, baby. It is complicated, but you are the one I truly love." Then Brenda found photos. There were many photos of Clark and Sylvia together. In some photos, they were kissing. In other photos, they were in hotel rooms. They looked so happy in the pictures. They looked like a real couple. It was not just one mistake. Clark was with Sylvia for a long, long time. He cheated on Brenda many times. Her happy world started to break. The truth was very painful. 6, talking about it. Brenda felt very cold inside, like ice was in her heart. Her happy world was gone, broken into tiny pieces. She felt so hurt. She also felt foolish, like she was very stupid to believe Clark's lies for so long. The messages on the tablet showed her the real story. Clark did not love only her. He loved his ex-girlfriend, Sylvia, too. He was living 2 lives. Later that evening, Clark came home. He opened the door with his key and walked in, smiling. "Hi, baby, I'm home," he said cheerfully. He put his bag down. He did not know that Brenda knew his big secret. Brenda was sitting quietly on the sofa. She did not smile back. She felt empty and sad. She stood up slowly and held the tablet computer in her hands. Her hands were shaking just a little, but she tried to be strong. Clark saw the tablet in her hands. He saw Brenda's face, her red eyes from crying. His happy smile disappeared very fast. First, he looked scared, like a small child caught doing something very bad. Then his face changed again. He looked angry. Maybe he was angry that she found out. He knew she knew. "What is that?" Clark asked, but his voice was not normal. He knew what it was. He tried to pretend it was nothing important. "Brenda, those messages, they are very old, from a long, long time ago," he lied. His eyes moved quickly. "It's not what you think. Really, you don't understand the situation." He stepped towards her and tried to take the tablet, but Brenda moved back. She held it tightly. "Old messages?" Brenda asked. Her voice was quiet, but it was strong too. It did not shake. "This message is not old, Clark." She pointed to the screen, showing him the last message from S. The one that arrived just about 1 hour ago. "She says tonight was amazing. Does that sound like a long time ago to you?" Brenda looked straight at him then. Her eyes were full of pain. "How long, Clark?" she asked again. Her voice was tired now. "How long have you been seeing Sylvia again? Tell me the truth." Clark could not look at Brenda's eyes. He looked down at the floor. He looked at the wall behind her. He did not want to answer her question. The apartment was very, very quiet. You could only hear Brenda breathing. Finally, he spoke. His voice was very low, almost a whisper. "It started again. A long time ago, Brenda," he admitted. "It was. Maybe soon after you and I started dating." Brenda felt like something hit her chest hard. She could not breathe easily. Soon after they met, all this time he was lying. Clark continued talking, still looking down. "I tried to stop seeing her," he said quietly. "I really tried many times, but I couldn't stop." He looked up at her face for just 1 second, then quickly looked away again. I think I still love her," he whispered. Then he said the words that broke Brenda's heart completely into pieces. "Maybe I love her more." 7. Our sad ending. Clark's words hurt Brenda very much. "Maybe I love her more." These words went round and round in her head. She felt so much pain inside. She also felt very angry. Her heart felt like it was broken into many small pieces. Everything they shared now felt like a big lie. Brenda looked straight at Clark. Her face was wet with tears, but her eyes showed anger now. "Go," she said. Her voice was quiet at first. Then she shouted, "Get out of my home. Go to Sylvia. Go to the woman you love more. Go now." Clark tried to speak. "Brenda, please." But Brenda did not want to hear him. "No, go away." Clark picked up his keys and his jacket. He looked very sad. But maybe he also looked a little bit relieved. He walked out of the door and closed it behind him. He did not look back. The apartment was suddenly very quiet and felt very empty. Brenda stood alone in the middle of the room. Her legs did not feel strong. She fell onto the sofa. Then she started to cry loudly. She cried and cried for a long time. She cried for the love that was gone. She cried because she felt so stupid. Her heart hurt so much. Later, she called her best friend, Lucy. Lucy came to Brenda's apartment very fast. Brenda told her friend everything. She talked about the secret messages. She told Lucy what Clark said about Sylvia. "He said he loves her more," Brenda cried again. Lucy held Brenda close. Lucy was very angry with Clark. "He is a bad person, Brenda," Lucy said. "You are wonderful. You deserve someone much better than him." Lucy stayed with Brenda and listened for many hours. Her friend's words helped a little bit. After he left, Clark sent messages to Brenda's phone. He wrote things like, "Brenda, I am so sorry," and "I made a very big mistake." He also asked, "Can we please talk?" Brenda read his words. Sorry, a mistake. He lied to her every day for many months. He loved another woman all that time. Anger came back strong. She did not write back to him. She blocked Clark's phone number. She did not want to see his name or read his lies again. One weekend, Brenda needed to buy food. She went to the local supermarket. It was just a normal afternoon. Then she saw them. Clark was there with Sylvia. They were walking down an aisle together. They were holding hands. They were laughing. They looked very happy, like a normal couple. Brenda felt a sharp pain in her chest. She quickly hid behind a big shelf so they did not see her. Seeing them happy together confirmed his choice. It showed her that Clark really did choose Sylvia. This understanding made her pain feel even deeper. She left her shopping cart right there. She walked quickly out of the supermarket. She sat in her car and cried again. This was the real end of their story. It was a very sad ending. 8. My new start. Going back to my job as a teacher was hard at first. Sometimes I wanted to stay in bed, but seeing the children helped me. They smiled and played, and their happy energy made me feel a little better. Teaching gave me something to do each day. It helped me stop thinking about Clark all the time. My friend Lucy was wonderful. She visited me often. We went for long walks in the park, and she listened when I needed to talk. We watched funny movies together. She did not let me feel alone. Slowly, I started to think about myself again. What did I like to do before Clark? I remembered I loved reading books. I started reading again before sleep. I also liked painting. I found my old paints and started painting simple pictures. It felt good to create something. My apartment felt empty and sad. It reminded me too much of Clark, so I decided to change it. I moved the sofa to a different wall. I bought some new, bright cushions. I put away things that reminded me of him. I wanted the apartment to feel like my own space, a place where I could feel safe and start again. I thought a lot about the past months. It was painful, but I started to understand things more clearly. Clark was not honest with me. He did not know how to tell the truth, maybe even to himself. He hurt me very much. I also understood that I did not listen to my own feelings. I saw small signs that something was wrong, but I ignored them because I wanted our love story to be perfect. This was a big lesson for me. I still feel sad sometimes. Healing takes time, and my heart was broken. But I also feel stronger now. I know I went through something very difficult, and I survived. I am still Brenda, the 24-year-old teacher. I know now what I want in the future. I want someone who is honest. I want someone who chooses me, only me. I deserve that. For now, I am not looking for a new boyfriend. I am focusing on myself. I am learning to be happy alone and to love myself more. It feels like a good way to begin my new start.